Ian Birmingham was pro pyro. Did you hear that? The win, brilliant for Pats winning the cup and all that, but then the news was breaking very soon afterwards that Stephen O'Donnell was leaving. Yeah. And did that kind of dampen the celebrations, the mood, the happiness, the spirit, or?
Not at the time, no.
Bows are going to have golden showers. I can't wait. I don't mean them golden showers. I mean, Jesus, well, I can't believe I said that. Showers made out of gold. Oh my God. Hello, I'm Eric Lalor. Welcome to episode 33 of House of Football. It is our special FAI Cup final special, and I'm delighted to say that both League of Ireland, Pats, Bohs, legends are in the studio with me. Ian Birmingham, Bermo, Derek Pender, Detzer are in here to talk about their careers and, of course, the upcoming FAI Cup final, the blue ribbon event of Irish football in the Aviva Stadium. The record was set 2 years ago, lads, of 37,000. Are we confident that we're going to get a bigger crowd this time around again?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah?
It's going that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, definitely.
There was 25,000 gone like in the first week or something, and you were worried that you were going to get your tickets.
Well, we were saying because we only you get 2 tickets off the club.
Is it just 2?
2, yeah.
Right.
And then obviously you have to order your tickets, but with the tickets going so quick, all players and staff are going. We have to order more tickets for ourselves. So how are we doing this? So yeah, but look, we got them sorted out eventually.
Brilliant. And just to touch on your careers, lads. Obviously, too, like 13 seasons at Pats is phenomenal. Like especially in the League of Ireland, it's very rare that you'll see a player staying with one club. Like, I mean, I know you play for Rovers as well and UCD, but Pats were your club. And you tell us a bit about your time. Did you ever think, even at the start, that you would be there that long and achieve what you achieved?
Not really, no. Obviously, with the contracts, it's year to year a lot of the time, and but no, I think it's for the environment that you're in. If you're comfortable and the people look after you, and I felt at home at Pats all the time. So,
again, and it's your local club as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm only up the road, 2 minutes up the road. But again, I just felt comfortable there all the time, and I enjoyed it. The people looked after me there, real good club. So, I had unbelievable times there. Obviously, we had a bit of success as well, so that helps.
Yeah.
But no, brilliant.
And had your testimonial there recently as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Played against Detzer actually played.
How was he? Was he still snapping at the tackles?
Yeah, he was still crunching through it.
He wasn't. He was disappointed.
I tell you what, he never. No, he's done the worst thing I've seen on a football pitch.
What?
One of the Pats fans was playing me. Obviously, done a raffle for the tickets. Keane went, and he's a youth.
Oh no, Keane, yeah.
So he was going in 3-1 goal, 1-on-1. Richard Park would say it was his dream to score. And this fella runs back 100 miles an hour, comes across, takes the ball off him.
You broke his head.
Yeah, everybody was
said it to him.
Everybody was fuming at me.
Everybody.
I didn't realise what I was doing in the moment. It was still a game of football today. To me, it was just a game of football. I didn't want him to score either. And Anton Murphy let him score.
No, well, he wasn't letting me score for ages. I was like, let's just get a bit embarrassing here. Will you just stop?
But it was a great day out and all. Yeah, enjoyed it.
Great to get all the lads that I would have played with over the years back. Yeah, great bit of crack. Yeah,
and that's like you signed for Bohs. I think like he's about like much love that is your prospective clubs. Like, you know, he's held up there on this pedestal, especially if that's at Bohs. I mean, I've been a Bohs fan myself. You were signed for Bohs. Aaron O'Callaghan signed you for Bohs when Bohs were like at the very, very bottom and just had almost gone bust. And I mean, I interviewed Aaron a couple of years ago for a thing for Bohs TV on YouTube, and he was telling me, you know, he was given the job. And he was telling me about the trials because he had no money. He had the trials. He had about 30, 40 players in Daily Mount at a trial. And he was trying to spot players and whatever. Like, you seen Bohs grow from there to now. Did you ever think, like, when you signed with Bohs at the very start, that Bohs would grow into the club that they are now?
I knew how big Bohs were. To be fair, like, even when Aaron was trying to sign us, he signed me and Dave McCarthy at the same time. But we didn't know that there was going to be an open day trials for such a big club. He didn't tell us that bit. So the first night of pre-season, we show up and it's in Dalymount, obviously, and we went in, and I'm not joking. There wasn't only 40 players. There was about 60 players in
really?
Dalymount. Yeah, it was madness. And we were like, what's
going
on here?
Yeah,
honestly, because we didn't realise how bad it was. Obviously, you knew that you knew there was trouble, and obviously we were going part-time from being full-time professional, and that's what we were signing for. But when you look at Bohs, you see Bohs, the name. I didn't know what was going on in the background and what was happening. So, yeah, it was an eye opener at the start, to be honest.
I can imagine you going home after that first night, going, "What am I after doing?" You know what I mean?
Mothers rang me on the way home, going, "Is this real?" I know, but look, we knew how big it was, and obviously it was going through a transition period. So, look, the club, its name itself was going to attract players, and we done all right that year, even
Yeah,
considering
actually.
what was at the happening.
And that's, you know, it shouldn't be forgotten, I suppose, and a lot of Bohs fans maybe have, but I'll never forget the job Aaron Callum did in that season. Like, he worked wonders with, as you say, like a pretty much patched together squad, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was. Like we really were just patched together. But he got good players. Evan McMillan, Dave Mulcahy, there was Denny Corcoran, I think, probably signed that year as well, did he?
He did, yeah.
So there was still good players there from the League of Ireland that played, but obviously the opening day trials, I don't think he got many from that.
I just loved to have seen your face when you walked in. Ian, you lifted the cup in 2021, and it was an amazing weekend as well. The baby was born. What was it, 2 days before the final?
She was born on the Friday, and then obviously we played the game on the Sunday. So
what a magical weekend that was for you!
Unbelievable.
Like, we lost the cup. I'm a Bohs fan. We lost the cup, and my dog got sick. It was the absolute opposite of what you had. It was a terrible weekend. But just your memories of that day, Ian, and the build up to the cup final, and you know, all the hullabaloo that comes with it. And why is it a different match to every other match that you play in the League of Ireland?
Look, it's a one-off game to final. You're playing the National Stadium. Again, we knew there was going to be a huge crowd there. I think there was 37,000 there. But just the whole build-up, obviously, Leah had Pippa on Friday. Then on the Saturday, I met up with the lads just to obviously doing a little pre-match stuff in the hotel and that. But I just soaked it all in. I had played in two previous finals and obviously won one and lost one. But I just said I'm just going to take it because it's probably going to be my last one. So I knew that I needed to soak it all in. But just all the small details, even the night before, sitting there down chatting to a few of the lads, like all the little different conversations you were having, like just how excited we all were and just little things like that.
Is that a different thing as well, Ian? The fact that, like, because it was a cup final, you say he's running a hotel, even though he's playing in Dublin, he's got together. That's not a normal thing for a League of Ireland club playing a match in Dublin, or
not in Dublin, no. But just obviously at the cup final, I think all the teams they'll do it this year. Both teams will do it this year and stuff. I'd say, that's just a sort of a tradition, I think. But no, it was just it was great to be around the lads again. We were sort of just giving our own little versions of how excited we were and stuff like that. Even just the staff members as well at the time as well, like Dave McGalley, who would be the sports therapist, he was in the room with us, and I remember him just saying how excited he was, like, and he was a staff member. So it was just, you could feed off it, like, you know, and we just couldn't wait to get out then to play the next day. We had a good vibe about us. We felt we got confident that year that we could go and do it. But again, as I said, I just wanted to go out and enjoy it, just soak up every little bit of it. And thankfully, we got over the line. It was a mad old game. Jesus.
Well, I always remember, like, I mean, that's obviously you're involved with the Bohs coaching team at the moment. And I remember for the final, Keith Long was up in the bleeding stands because he had a suspension after the little straightener with Stephen Bradley. But like, was like that day was obviously like you being on the line and Trevor being on the line. Was he just getting constant communication from Keith from up in the box, or? There's
always constant communication, even when before that we were used to being on kind of on the mic, or sometimes me up in the stand. But but still, for the same, if you ask Keith, it's not the same.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It wasn't the same. Some of the communication was probably getting lost as well because of the noise. We've never done we've done it previous in Europe, but we didn't have that crowd, so you couldn't hear anything. You know, it was that loud, and that the atmosphere was that good on the day. But
so there's a lot of what?
Yeah.
What was that? What?
There was. Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, walkie-talkies were used. But yeah, there was a little bit like that. But it was different. Obviously, it didn't go our way, and you look at that and what you did on the day and the build up to it, and try and learn from it this year, and hopefully the results will change.
I have a little question for both of you, right? Can you name the two Bohs players that started that 21 Cup final who could possibly start this Cup final? Two Bohs players. I'm going to say two Pats players who started that 21 Cup final who are still involved and might start this year's Cup final. Have a little guess there, boys.
Brezzo, one of them.
Huh?
Brezzo.
Well, no, he was with Bohs.
Oh, he's on the bench.
So
for us.
these two lads would have played for Pats on the day and are still with Pats.
Oh, and Bohs the same.
Yeah. So two lads who played for Bohs in the Cup final 21 are still involved with Bohs. Now, obviously, Bucko played, but he's injured.
Yeah.
But there's still two other players who started that Cup final. Could very well start this Cup final as well. One of them's maybe on the borderline. Have a little guess there.
JT.
Oh, yeah,
yes, that's one. JT Talbot, James Talbot.
Well, I know the Pats lads.
Yeah, well, I'm wanting him to get them. I didn't see.
You want me to get the Pats lads? Yeah. Okay, so
for that, that's yeah.
Right, Pats. Jamie Lennon.
Yes.
Chris Forrester.
Yeah, there we go. I thought you would have struggled with the Lennon one. Now straight in.
Jamie Lennon.
So the other Bohs player?
Jesus, I can't think. No.
Scottish lad.
Q.
Yes. There we go. It's mad, isn't it? That just shows you the like, that's what I mean. Like,
the
used
teams.
to are an anomaly in the League of Ireland in that you were with the clubs for so long that you were with, whereas there's 2 players from each side still with the clubs. Like, you know what I mean? It's mad that the turnover is like that in the League of Ireland.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, if you look back, that's up to 21. Like, it's
2 seasons ago.
2 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Like, and the obviously the change in personnel at both clubs is huge. So.
And the managers and all the change as well.
Yeah, so it'll be completely different to the final. There's nothing sort of still there. Like, I suppose it'll be just a completely fresh. Everything will be new. There'll be nothing really. It's just going to be completely different.
Yeah, it will be.
An enjoyable game, I'd imagine.
I've been to a lot of FAI Cup finals over the years when Bohs weren't there, so we went to the Aviva just to go, whatever. And I was kind of longed for the day that Bohs might be there. And then we were very lucky with the European. We had 3 European nights that, like, 3 of the best nights of my life, I have to say. Like, you know, in the glorious sunshine and the Aviva, and there was COVID and all that, and it was just a relief to be out and about. And then we got to the cup final, and I remember saying at the time to me young fella, I says, look, we're here now. I don't care. Like, obviously we want to win, but we're here now. It's like the worst part is to get knocked out in the semi-final, I think. But we're in the final. You've got that sense of occasion. And I don't think I even seen the first 10 minutes of the cup final because it's all the smoke and flares. You know what I mean?
I'd be the same as you, though. I was the same even as a player and even as a coach. You'd still go to the cup final regardless if you were in it or not, because that's the day and that's the occasion that it is. It's our, like you say, our flagship game at the end of the season that I'm sure 70-80% of the league will go and watch even if they're not involved. So it's that type of game. So yeah, I would have went to all the finals as well.
And like I mentioned the smoke there, does that affect you in any way? Like, you only got cup final, like the smoke everywhere. Does it affect you in any way?
No, not really. I think it just adds to
it adds to it, doesn't it?
The flair.
In Birmingham was pro pyro. Did you hear that? I love that.
No, even just I remember walking out and the light, they have like a light show in the Aviva, just little things like that, just walking out. It's just like, oh,
there's an amazing video I remember from the back of the tunnel where the 2 teams are walking out
and the lights are.
It's like a nightclub going on. Just smoke everywhere, and just the noise when the 2 teams came out, and you're kind of going, "This is special. This is a really special day in Irish football."
It's completely different. It's it's hard to describe. Like, it's a one-off, but just the atmosphere and everything. Obviously, all your friends, family, everybody that you know, everybody from your area, sort of go once there's someone involved, and they'll go. Like, but no, it's a special day, and obviously you want to come out on top, like. But I think, as you say, getting there is the main thing, and then look, it's on the day. Then whoever turns up, I suppose, whoever deals with all the different little things that get thrown at them.
I suppose looking at the odds for the final, there's no favourite at the moment. They're both at the same price now. I'll be honest with you, that's what I would put Pat slightly favourites, just due to the recent games and the fact that we'll be without Bucko in the final and Casper. Devastated for Casper. I mean, obviously Bucko, but Casper as well. Like, the 2 bleeding ridiculous yellow cards he got down in Galway. Like, you know, they weren't even fouls, never mind yellow cards.
Yeah, I know.
He misses a cup final over it.
It's shocking. It's terrible. It's terrible on it, because they work so hard to get there, and you don't often get there. It's like, you know what I mean? It's such a hard thing to do. So to miss it for a suspension like that as well, especially, is devastating for Casper. And obviously Bucko, we all know he's injured, and even more so for him being the captain and kind of the leader around the place. It's extremely frustrating and cruel, I would say, for himself. But look, we're there, and like Bermo say, it's on the day. It's all the little things that you kind of deal with on the build up to it. There's, like you say, there's no favourites. Pats have played well. They've cemented their place in Europe. We haven't had a good couple of weeks, so we have to dust ourselves off, and like we have to look forward to the week ahead. That's there, and hopefully on the day we show up. I'm sure we will. We've got brilliant players and big game players, so hopefully they show up on the day.
Does that take the pressure off a team, Bermo, when they're already in the cup final and they know they've already qualified for Europe?
I'll be honest, it's players don't think, like, I can't imagine any Bohs player will be thinking, oh, we don't win here, we're not going to get.
It's about win the cup, and wherever comes.
And then listen, that never would enter your head. I don't think, as a player. Obviously, the lads in the background and sort of like who run the club, they'll obviously be looking at it maybe. But as far as players are concerned, I don't even think it'll enter on your own minds, and I don't even think Declan Devine or Dets or anybody will mention it even in there, because it's all about winning the cup. That's the main thing. And then obviously, as you said, what comes with that after then is obviously to get Europe, but I don't think that'll be playing on any of their minds.
And that's what you mentioned to me there before we came in here, like the whole hullabaloo around the cup final, like the stuff that goes where there's the suits and all, people getting measured for suits. You're not into that.
What is weird this year?
What was it the last one? It was like a navy suit, white t-shirt, and white runners.
I think you're beaten before you even came.
No, I wouldn't say that. But no, yeah, it's just look, that's the occasion, that's the build up to it. There's a lot of noise around there as well, so like it's frustrating when you're coming from a different side of it, kind of thing. You know, you try and think of it as another game, but obviously it's not, because it's a massive day, it's a massive occasion for everybody and their families, and yeah, the suit side of things as well. It can be a little bit frustrating on the other side, I'd say.
You are very prim and proper that day now as well, the suits. Are you involved in any way with the suit selection this year?
No, I'm not involved in any preparation for them this year. I'm just going as a fan this year. And it'll be
Bermingham will be steaming.
If you open the corporate box, the premium level.
And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good. I went down to the semi-final
in Cork
as a fan, I suppose. Just I never went to a game, obviously, as a sort of fan, so I wanted to experience it.
And how was it?
Brilliant. I went down. A couple of my mates were going down on the Saturday just to stay over, so I went down with them and then went to the game on the Sunday.
Pat's brought a big crowd, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a huge crowd. It was great. It's just different. It was just a different experience, and it was obviously great then that the lads got the win. But no, I'll be going as a fan this year again. I probably won't sit in with all the mad lads, but
they won't be allowed.
I wanted to experience it once, and I done it. So it was great. Yeah.
What about you? You ever been in the Bohs crowd?
No, that's what I always say when we go away, and even on especially where our fans are unbelievable. Like, they travel all over the place, even no matter how good or bad we're doing. But you say that, you know, when you're traveling down, you see them, you see the crack that they're having. I always say, I'd imagine going as a fan one day, like even to the cup final or the nights that we were in Europe. Yeah, you know, you're driving through Ringsend or whatever it may be, and you're seeing them, and you're going, I want to do that one. You know what I mean?
Just drop me off here.
Yeah. No pressure.
No, you're right. They were amazing. Like, because even I remember 2 years ago at the cup final, Bohs we weren't given the Bath pub, but we took over the Bath pub on Bath Avenue there, and they were sending, Bohs was sending out. So Eric, you were there 2 years ago. How many are you bringing this? Now I remember last time I brought 21, and this year it's 34. So we're bursting at the seams, like, you know what I mean? But you're right though, the buzz. And even though it was a Bohs pub, there was Pat's fans there as well, and there was good banter there, there was good crack. Like, I know there was a nasty incident up at the Irishtown House, which wasn't pleasant, and you know, I'd like to think both clubs, well, certainly Bohs would distance themselves from whoever the thugs were, kind of thing. Like, but I think on the whole, it's a magical day, and the clubs, it's a celebration of League of Ireland football. It is our biggest day on the calendar, and we just hope that you know, with the live TV and all that both teams can put on a show. Went to penalties in 2021. Were you ever thinking you might put your hand up and take one?
You know what, I was struggling that year I had tendinopathy in my Achilles, so every time I was getting fatigued, my Achilles was gone, like I couldn't run, so I was near the end, then I was
and you'd played extra time as well.
Yeah, well, this was in extra time, I was gone, and I think boys do still give me a bit now. Brought on Stephen Mallon.
Oh yeah,
he's a bullet, like, and he went up the line one time, just roasted me, like I couldn't get near him. But now I was sort of struggling, I couldn't run or anything like that really coming towards the end, so I think the lads were going to the penalty, I wanted to take one, so I was like, listen, I'm struggling, but so then I think they had me last. I was like, no, listen, I'm not letting the keeper go ahead of me, so I'll go before me, and I think I was 10th or something like that, but thankfully we got the job done before it came around to me. But Jesus, yeah, there was. I remember when Chris missed the penalty, I was hoping that V would bail us out, like, you know. But obviously the two lads hit the crossbar and the post, I think. But it's mad that I just changed so quick. Like, so obviously Chris had missed, and then it was two penalties straight after, was it?
Yeah, two after. Yeah.
If Tariq had scored, I think, you know,
that would have been, I think pressure would have been too much.
Probably look, it's all ifs and buts, because penalties on the end of the day, it's devastating on the lads that missed, obviously. They don't step up to miss, so they'll always remember that. So but that's football, it's cruel at times. Somebody has to be.
It is. It's like, and did the players practice? That's like, well, Bohs be practicing and all.
Oh, they do, yeah. I think before every round we've practiced, because you just don't know what way the game's going to go. So of course you practice all the time.
I think it'd be quite tight again this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if it did go all the way. You wouldn't know. But
I think if you look at the games this year as well, they've been entertaining. Even the 0-0 up in Richmond that time, that was a very good game. The games in Dalymount, obviously we were beaten the last time, but. And then down to 10 men as well, the last game we played, but they've been open games, because they really have.
And the last game was played in mad conditions, like the pelting rain and the pitch looked very heavy. Now, it was great that Dalymount was playable that night. Like when you see the ball was called off and somewhere else was called
off.
Yeah, Tala was called off. Yeah, but we now looking back in hindsight, we're kind of going to wish it was called off. 6 of the last FAI Cup finals have gone to extra time. So it shows you that 6 of the last 8 of the FAI Cup finals have gone to extra time, and I suppose you both mentioned the 2 teams are very, very close, and there's every chance they could go to extra time penalties again, kind of thing. Like, I'm not sure my nerves would be able for that now. I think I might just leave. I think I'll just walk out now. But goes to listen, I'm going to the pub. I won't be able for it.
I suppose as a fan, you can't control. You just have to wait. Like in terms when you're in with the lads, like I'm sure you can sort of have some sort of control in terms of whatever, but just when you're a fan, I think I'd say it's more nerve-wracking than anything. But
you can see the fan, you see it in the faces, sure. You know, when you come up, like even my young one, she's 13 in December now. She goes to all the games. The worst person I can go home to is her when we get beaten.
Oh, she's devastated.
Honest to God, it's a nightmare. You know, so like the cup final all week, it'll just be. I just needed to be here. You know what I mean? I should go off now to the hotel. I'll just stay awake, man, for the week because she'll just do me head in for the whole week. You know,
that's under pressure from his daughter to provide results. I love that. Love that. So when the cup when we were beaten in the cup final in 2021, that's how obviously there's like heartbreak and devastation. What's the dressing room like after that? Like in the moments when you go back into the dressing room, is it just?
It's devastation, really. You know, there's nothing you can say, I don't think, in that moment to try and lift the players, because you don't really, on cup final day, your preparation's done through the week on your opposition and what you're doing. On cup final day, I don't think you need much motivation, you know, especially when you walk out into that stadium and you see the fans, and obviously the occasion for your family, because you have family members that you'll only see at weddings and funerals that want to go to this game. You know what I mean? So they all know the occasion and how important it is. So there's nothing that you could do to motivate a player more. So when you go in after defeat, I don't think you can say anything that will try and pick a player up. Everybody knows, and you just have to deal with it in your own moment, I suppose, and try and come together again and try and go after it again the following season, because football's like that. You know, some players are lucky enough, like Bremo was saying, it was his last game, he just wanted to enjoy the occasion. Some players are young enough, especially in our squad, that no matter what happens on the day, they might have another chance next year to go again and try and do that, and that's probably the only little bit of, you know,
consolation kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's not. It's devastating if you lose the fun, especially the way you lose on penalties as well.
And obviously the total opposite in your dressing room, Bermo, then, like with the wild scenes, the celebration. I
remember when we won it actually in 2014. Obviously 2 players off each team get brought in for testing.
Oh yeah.
So we got brought in 2014 for testing. You're sitting there. There was I think Rory Patterson and someone else off Derry was sitting there. Obviously we're there drinking a bottle of Heineken, and he's there gutted. Like you can't even say anything.
I know, what do you say in that moment?
Sitting there, it's the awkward with the lads that obviously watch you.
Were you brought in 21 as well?
No,
I was in
the dressing room. No, I was in the dressing room leading the celebrations, but
and they go on long into the night then as well, Bermo, back to the club
days into weeks or whatever. But I just wanted to experience everything. So even after the cup final, like anybody that wanted to see that trophy, I would have bring it to anybody. Like all the Pats fans that go to their house, even whatever it might be. I milked it, I really did milk it, but that's what I wanted to do.
Because you knew it was
because I knew it was going to be my last one. So I milked it, and I remember actually Trevor, when we played us in pre-season, he's like, "I'll have to see you with that fucking trophy again." So now again, it was my last one. I wanted to soak up everything. So again, as I said, the lead up to it, the day itself, the celebrations after, just going on, I soak up everything, and I have
it's a memory you'll take to the grave with you, kind of thing.
Memories, brilliant memories I have from the whole thing. But
this is killing me listening to this.
I know, but I think for the players on both sides and staff members and stuff like that, they've got to just soak it in. And again, as you say, you don't want to be on the losing side, but if you soak it all in and then you go and win it, like them memories will just like 2012, we sort of forget a little bit some of the parts of it, like, but I know for the fact that I remember these ones for forever, like, and especially then I was the captain, I was able to lift the trophy, so which was a dream. Like,
what's that feeling like, walking up them steps?
That's just walking up the steps and
you know you're going to do it.
Yes,
incredible.
Yeah, just unbelievable. So a bit emotional, like,
of course you would be. Yeah,
that's what you dream of, like, you would dream of winning trophies, but the captain of the team, and again I was there for so many years, and it's my local club. I had a lot of local people that I would have known were there. It's just, it's you can't describe it really. It's just it's phenomenal. Like
and then obviously like there was the win, brilliant for Pats winning the cup and all that. But then the news was breaking very soon afterwards that Stephen O'Donnell was leaving, and did that kind of dampen the celebrations, the mood, the happiness, the spirit, or?
Not at the time, no. Listen, you're celebrating, you're in the moment. And again, we didn't know what was going on. Dribs and drabs were coming out, oh, he's gone. Little rumours here and there. So nothing was confirmed, but obviously it was disappointing that he did.
But you enjoyed your time on the stadium that season?
I well documented that. I really enjoyed it, like, and gave me a different sort of view on the game as well, and in terms of how to create a good environment, how to different things like that. So I learned an awful lot off him, and again, around that time when he came in, it was my first time ever that I would have been on the bench. Like, so I had played nearly any time I was fit. I played for I don't know how many years I played for.
You were a shoe-in, a starter, yeah.
So then he came in and he sorted. Griff was there, Shane Griffin, and he played Griff and different things, and I had to bide my time. But I trusted him, and he was honest with me, so I was able to believe, and I believed in what he was doing in terms of stuff that he was working on the pitch. I could see, because in COVID we were sitting in the stand, and it's probably easier to see
as opposed to being on the bench level, pitch level,
in terms of being able to see, and I could see the stuff that he was working on and training. I could see it didn't develop all the time, but I could see it, like, in terms of sometimes the lads on the pitch maybe wouldn't have seen it, but I could see it, and I believed in what he was doing. And again, once I got my chance, he said, look, I'll stay in. I got a chance again, and I was able to stay in. So it was now again, it was just a really enjoyable time. And obviously the topper off then was to win the cup. Listen, after what happened then it's out of air control, I suppose, and again, I don't know the reasons why he did, but
back to his old club, I suppose, Dundalk. That's how you played and worked under Keith Long at Bohs, and even to this day, I'll still say we still should have a statue of that man somewhere near Dalymount because of the work he did there. I thought he was an incredible manager for us, and I'll always hold him in high stead. Declan Devine has come in. What's the difference between Declan and Keith? Do you see what's Declan Devine brought to Bohs this season?
Obviously, Keith was there in part time. Keith took over from Owen at the time when the club was still in a transition on where it was going. When he built it year on year and made it better year on year as a whole, like even not just the football side, the whole club as a whole, he made it better each year that he was there. In fairness to Keith, so he was again a brilliant man manager. Like the way Declan is. Declan's an unbelievable man manager. He understands people and understands players, and I think what he tries to do is create that positive environment around the players and gives them trust that you can only see with him. Like his personality, he brings it out. He's very, on down days as well, when you're looking for a lift, Declan's there to give people a lift. He is brilliant at that. He's obviously gone full-time professional. He's gone through a lot of change as well, because we were part-time last year. Now it's full-time again, and you might say another transition because Keith was there for so long. So obviously it's his first year. We're in a cup final, and the last couple of weeks in the league haven't gone as well as we wanted, but so we just have to keep building. Declan will build. I think he's got the trust of the players, and that's what's mostly important.
Tell us that. So what's the difference? What is, like, it's a massive difference for the club to switch from part-time to full-time, is it? Yeah,
it is.
In what ways? Like, it's just
I just think in everything, like, that's why it took for the club for so long. Maybe people would say that we'd probably done it a year too late, or we could have went a little bit earlier, but you have to get a lot of full-time staff in place, which is important, and then obviously it's paying full-time salaries to get people in them roles. So last year people would probably say that we were ready to go full-time, but we weren't, because we hadn't got the staff to go in full-time at the time. This year again, now we're building on. The club, as you know, Eric, is getting bigger and bigger each year. You can see that with the fan base and what's going on outside it. So it's that transition of trying to, and it's time. Everything is time. We're moving these things on. So that's what you have to think about as well when you can't just switch from a part-time model to a full-time model. There's a lot of things, a lot of building blocks that have to be put in place to get to the full-time levels of the likes of Rovers and Pats, who've been full-time for many years now.
And both of you would have been in the league a few years ago when it wasn't, let's be honest, not as buzzy as it is right now. Your opinion, Bermo, on where the league was and where it is now and where it can go?
I think just you see the crowds. I think since COVID, obviously, when everything's taken away from you, sort of, and you see people now, the crowds come back, and then obviously the 2021 helped us winning the league. But the crowds that are coming to the games now, like, and even like you play UCD. I think Pats might have played UCD on a Monday, and I think it was probably 4,000 or something like that. Just something like that. I'm not sure now, but just like it's unbelievable. Like, I remember going back even only say 6-7 years ago, and you're playing against UCD, and there's probably about 200 people there, or whatever, you know. Yeah. So it's come on leaps and bounds. Again, you've got to give credit to Noel Cully as well at Pats. Does the community work, and again that helps you. The amount of kids that are going to the games now, it's unbelievable. But no, it's if it keeps going the way it's going, like, who knows? The sky's the limit, I suppose.
It really is.
Like, the young players in the league are a different level from years ago. We were like, they're obviously well coached, but they're proper athletes, and again, their game intelligence, how they understand the game. Again,
and they look after their bodies and all that.
Yeah. Listen, they're proper professionals. And then just again, as I said, the coaching that they're getting younger, like as I said, when they get to that level, then to the first team, like they're ready, like they understand the game, they understand what's asked of them. So again, as I said, the sky's the limit. I think hopefully we can just keep improving it and getting better year on year.
And that's the difference. That's what I suppose as well. Ian just touched on it there. What I find amazing about the league is that you're driving around Dublin these days and you see kids with Bohs jerseys, Shells jerseys, Pats jerseys, Rovers jerseys. It's just like, I never saw that years ago when I was younger. Like, it was all Man United, Liverpool, and all that. But the amount of League of Ireland jerseys, and I suppose it's a testament to the league and how it's grown over the last few years.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant what's going on outside of likewise what Berm was saying. I think Pats and Bohs have been brilliant at what they do with the community, the communities, and getting people to go to games. Like, it really is, and it's becoming a little bit more of a rivalry as well between supporters and kids that are growing up, the next generation, like with their jerseys. And you say, look, I go down into the flats and there's Rovers, Bohs, Pats, Shells,
all
in the one spot. You know, like, they're fighting Halloween every day. You know what I mean? It's brilliant. It's brilliant to see. And like come Friday. Now going to Daily Mount, you can't get tickets. You're getting pestered for tickets. It's mental.
It's incredible. The amount of people now, because they see the people know I'm a Bohs fan, I suppose, and the amount of, like, I get, like, you know, that on Instagram, your other folder from people who don't follow you. Hey, can you get me tickets for Daily Mount? I don't even know who you are. Like, you know what I mean? And you can't get a ticket for love nor money. And even my like the way it's grown, like my sister and her two little kids, her twins, they're growing up. They're about 10 or 11 now, and they're so into football, and they want to start following Bohs now because the family's been following Bohs. And I'm like, I can't get you a ticket. There's no tickets now. Like, you know what I mean? It's
man. I have my nephew. He's 10. He loves it. He goes to all the games, and he's all this. Who are we playing this weekend? What if we win and Rovers lose? Are we like we like?
He's so invested.
Yeah, he just loves it. So it's and again, it's great. I love seeing it. Again, as I said, the amount of kids that are down there now, it's unbelievable. And again, hopefully, it's good that they're all kids, because obviously you've got that longevity then when
they're the future.
Exactly, and then it'll just keep improving.
Honestly, the worst thing about losing the game is going to pick up these kids from school on a Monday. I'm telling you, I don't know. We got beaten. I think it was after the Pats game. I wouldn't go to the school till we won the next game.
That's right. Even when you're because I'm probably only up the road, like, and I remember like going back. I was like, how just going last night now, and you got beaten, like, you know, just, but people are just always, but I'd say now it's just gone to a new level, like, because everybody knows like what's Pats have been beaten last night, or they won last night, or whatever. So everybody around the area will know, like, again, I'm not playing anymore, but again, it's still like I'm associated with Pats. That's all they know me for is Pats. So. But,
so you'd have people just coming up and talking to you about it?
Yeah, well, I know a lot.
Community.
This Ballyfermot, like, that's a stronghold of Pats, I suppose. But all the time, like, because I'm just like, I live in Ballyfermot still, so it's you'd always be. That's all you do is chat about Pats, I suppose.
Yeah, it's true what you say. That's it as well. Like, I mean, like when. People are so into the League of Ireland now, like myself, and my young fella Alex is a massive Bohs fan now, and it ruins his weekend. It's just the weekends are right off on the Friday night. If Bohs aren't winning or they lose, it's like, right, he's in the horrors till the next Friday, you know. And then you go in again on Friday, all optimistic again, going, you never know, this could be the day. You know?
That's what we do to people.
But just to touch on the league and the way it's developed. Some people would say now that it's become more of a developmental league, in that the players are younger, more technically astute. I mean, I remember I've been following League of Ireland for like 40 years or whatever, and back in the days when I was a kid going down to it, there was a lot of older senior pros who, you know, leave a bit on you in a tackle. The pitches were heavier. Obviously, it's all changed now. The plan for the FAI and, you know, getting some government funding. Do you think that, Derek, you would agree then that we need more full-time coaches in the League of Ireland academies, and that's the only way forward?
100%, especially if they want the next generation to go on and be internationals at the highest level and play at the highest level. I think we're doing all right at the minute, but still our academy players are still only in part-time, maybe 3 times a week during the week, once in a weekend games. They're still not playing enough games, because if you look at England and the academies in England, they're probably playing 2 or 3 times during the week in their respective leagues.
And it's not just because there's a lack of full-time staff.
There's no funding in our league for the academy. Like, I'm sure Pat's academy is thriving, Bohs academy is thriving, but I'm sure the stresses on the owners and the supporters, because we're the supporters and the members of them clubs every week. I'm not sure how much it costs to run an academy team, but I'm assuming it's a good bit of money. You know, so you've got 14s, 15s, 17s, 19s. It's a lot of money, a lot of outlay on the clubs, and it's not as if you're going to get an Evan Ferguson going through every one of them teams, or, you know what I mean? It's there's a high percentage of players that won't make it, but we still have to try and develop the best players we can in this country for our league as well. So there has to be investment from the government to try and make everything better.
And it does have a knock-on effect, as you say, with the national team. I think in the last Ireland match, 7 of the starting 11 had come through the League of Ireland, which is brilliant.
Like I said, even with the coach, obviously trying to get full-time coaches in, like, you look at the standard of player, as I said to you, when they come up, like, they're technically excellent. They understand the game so well because they've been coached really well. Like, so can you imagine if we can get more contact time with them, again, have them in full time, like, that we can obviously make it better and push on, like. But
and Pats have a very young team this season as well. Like, a lot of young players coming into the first team.
There's a lot of them. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go to a League of Ireland game now, and you're probably looking at a 20-year-old centre back against a 19-year-old centre forward. Like, it's gone. It's just done a full youth. You know what I mean? So, but Pats, they've got some excellent young players, and again, the players.
Mason Mealy comes to mind. What a prospect he is.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. Like, he come up when he was 14, I think, to train with us.
Did you train with him?
Yeah, I trained with him. I think he would come up once or twice when I was there.
And what was that like? Did you hear whispers about him that they'd watch his kid? Was that talk about him?
No. He just come up. Obviously, he had been doing well in the academy or whatever, and he felt he was ready, and he came up and he didn't look out of place. He done really well, and obviously he's progressed again and again. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant for them. And again, as you said, there's that. Pats is littered with them. Like, you go through the whole, you go like Sam, Adam, Ben, even like the likes of Conor Carty and stuff, up Tommy Lonergan. They're all only young. They're all 21, 22, I think, is the max that they are. So it's brilliant, and they've done really well. I think even going into the final this year, I think there was a few of them, the likes of Sam, Adam, who would have been around the team when we got to the final in 2021. So that might help them in terms of going into the final.
Yeah, that little bit of experience, that little bit of exposure to it.
Just being exposed to it. I know. I don't know whether Adam was on the bench, but just even being around it the night before the training session, before the dressing room, the whole lot, everything about it, it will probably obviously help them going forward into next week. But yeah, no, again, the academy coaches deserve a lot of credit, and obviously John has put them in and stuff like that. So again, it's brilliant, and obviously Bohs have a few young lads as well. But I think
our big. Like, I was talking to someone there recently. Our big cash cow still out there doing the business in the Premier League, Evan. When he eventually moves to Real Madrid for 150 million, Bohs are going to have golden showers. I can't wait. I don't mean them golden showers. I mean, Jesus, well, I can't believe I said that. Showers made out of gold. Oh my God. That's how your memories of Evan Ferguson when he came into the squad as a like, I was at that Chelsea game, the friendly, where he came on, and I remember when he was coming on, he was quite tall and big, and I was kind of going, he must be one of the 17s or 19s players. And then I went home and there was this big furore on social media going, oh my God, Bohs playing at 14-year-old disgrace. And I was like, my God, he was only 14. But even in that game, you could see, like, he even had an involvement in the goal that Eric Malloy scored at the equaliser. And then subsequently coming into the first, like, sorry, did he just? Had you heard rumours and whispers about him?
We all knew about him. Well, I'm sure everybody, even that weren't involved in the game, probably at schoolboy football, that were at that level, would always knew who. Kevin's had an unbelievable side at the a lot of young good players, but good young players. But Evan obviously Evan been in with us a couple of times training as well, and then that day he was in the squad and Keith brought him on, and I just remember him holding off Kurt Zuma and thinking, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that. You know, like he was 14 and he held him off. It wasn't like, it was proper old school centre forward play where he's backing into him and he's holding the ball up and
he's 14.
14. Yeah. It was nuts. That was that game especially. But then after that, like you say, there's a big foray about him, and he come on, made his league debut up in Derry. And there was a lot of noise outside, and fairness to his family and the club, and the club themselves, they took the decision to kind of take him out of the spotlight. It's not something he needs. Continue just playing your football and go the way you're going. You know what I mean? And you don't need that noise or that expectation that was already on him. Put more on his shoulders.
Are you surprised in any way how well he's done?
No,
I'm not. No. You knew going over he's going to make an impact at Brighton?
No, not at that time. I didn't know. I knew. Like I worked for him at under 17s when I retired. He was in the under 17s team at that time, and I could just see the difference of him there. Jeez, he was an animal, like compared to like when you look at his want, you know what I mean, to score goals, how aggressive he was, or how angry he got at missing silly chances, his runs in games, his movement, and just general play.
Just a maturity.
Just maturity of I was like this. It's different level, like completely different level. So. I can't believe he actually played as many games as he did for the 17s that year. I was lucky enough with Colbert to keep him for as long as we did, but he should have played more times for the first team, I'm sure, at that time.
I remember even like there was a pre-season friendly up at Drogheda, and he was started off as centre forward, and somebody off Bohs got injured, so he had to go to the left wing.
Yeah, that's right.
He still scored 2 goals from the left wing against Drogheda, like as a I think he was like 15. Maybe 16 at the time, and you're like, this is a freak of nature, like, and obviously we have that clause now, and we're going to rule the league for years. Sorry.
He won't move. Ev's not like that. Ev's happy in his environment, you know.
Oh, I know, yeah. I need to send him another message on Instagram. Yeah, when are you leaving? We're getting a little bit stuck here in Dalymount. Before we wrap it up, lads, we have this little career tracker game. We want you to name the player, right? I'm going to give you the clubs he played for, and you just have to guess who the player is. So this player played for Bray, Shelbourne, Monaghan, Portadown, and Dundalk. Dundalk was his last club.
Brian Gartland.
Yes. Right, that's a time to equalise. Shells, Drogheda, Dublin City, Bray, Galway, Pats, Sligo, Dundalk, again his last club. So that's Shells, Drogheda, Dublin City, Bray, Galway, Pats, Sligo, Dundalk.
Gary Rogers.
Yeah, there we go, lads. Listen, we have so-called football experts coming onto this show, the tic-tac-toe, and you haven't got a breeze. And these two lads straight away in with the answers, no bother. Lads, we're very, very excited. It is the Blue Ribbon event, the 2023 Cup Final. It's on the way this Sunday. We're hoping for a record crowd, and let's just hope it's a brilliant match. Is it too much to ask you for a prediction? Because he's both. I mean, obviously you're on the coaching team. That's you're putting pressure on yourself. Bermo, how are you feeling? Are you feeling confident?
Yeah,
you are.
Be confident. Yeah. Listen, Pats, that they've even when they don't play well, they always stay in the game. They just they find a way to win games, and I think it's a huge trait to have, just to find a way to win. And I think they've done that a lot of times this year.
And the new manager's come in; he's done an incredible job.
They've done brilliant. Again, it's a one-off game, but I'd be confident in terms of like the match winners that like Pats would have, like the likes of Chris and stuff like that. So, again, that's solid defensively.
Chris, the big Bohs fan.
Yeah.
Breaks me heart, it does. Breaks me heart.
Solid defensively. They don't concede many goals. So, again, I'd be confident that they can go and do the job.
And having Joe Redmond back has been a huge plus.
Yeah, Joe has been huge. I think the amount of clean sheets, I obviously don't know the stats, but I'd imagine like the amount of clean sheets that they've kept since Joe, or even goals conceded since he's come back, it would be obviously dwindled down. But now would be confident enough that they can go and do the job.
I know there's plenty of good players on both sides. Somebody said to me recently, I think the cup final will be decided on who wins the battle between Joe Redmond and Jonathan Afolabi. Obviously, you wouldn't agree with that, saying no, there's another 10 players there that are capable of doing the job. Your mindset going into this cup final, and talking to the players, particularly when there's a little bit of a cloud with the last couple of weeks in the league and losing the captain Bucko and Casper to suspension. What's the mood been like in the camp, and how's the preparations going?
Look, we're obviously preparing for another game this week.
Yeah.
Preparations the last 2 weeks. We look, the mood hasn't been great. Let's be honest. We lost at home to Pats and away to Dundalk, so it hasn't been a good camp. And obviously, like you say, with the mood around the place with Bucko getting injured, but look, that mood will swiftly change once you come into cup final week. You know, it's a great occasion. It's a massive week for the players and their families, and I'm sure they'll be all looking forward to it once we get the last game of the season out of the way, and then your mindset switches straight to the cup final. You prepare for that, and look, it's a cup final. You know, it's the biggest day, like you say, of our calendar year. So there'll be no doom and gloom mood. Put it that way. We all look forward to it, and hopefully we can perform on the day.
15 years, that's 15 years.
You
don't need to be reminded of that. I got a dachshund about 4 years ago, right? Brand new dachshund, little puppy. And I came home and I seen him, and the family got it for me. And like I was like, no, I don't want a dog. And then obviously seen the dog, I was like, oh my God, he's gorgeous. And I called him Detta.
Do you?
Yeah. Now, hold on.
Cheers, Artie.
Hold on. For 2 days, me and Alex said, yeah, he's called Detta. Just thought, like, that's a great name for a dachshund. And, you know, we love Detta. Detta was our hero. And then we got overruled by the rest of the family because the 6 was in the family. So the other 4 said no. So now he's called Louis. So he was Detta for 2 days.
Louis a better name.
A dachshund. Lads, we've come to the end of the podcast. Just wanted to say thanks so much for both of you for giving us your time. No if you're watching this on YouTube, get in the conversation, leave a comment below, and make sure you get your final for the biggest game in Irish domestic football. Bohs and Pat at the Aviva Stadium, November 12th, kick off 3 o'clock. It's going to be biblical. I can't wait. Lads, thanks very much.
No
Cheers,
problem.
Eric.
Good luck.